welcome to CEO.CA. My name is James Pettam, and today I'm joined by Drew Zimmerman. Drew is CEO of Stallion Uranium. They trade on the Toronto Venture Stock Exchange under the ticker STUD, STUD. Drew, it's great to have you with us today.
Great to be here, and thanks for having me on, James.
So I'd like to talk about the recent name change. You announced that you've relinquished your past of Stallion discoveries and are now embracing a new era of Stallion Uranium. I'm wondering if you can tell us a bit of the context behind that name change. How did it come about, and how does that represent the new phase of the company's life?
Yeah, absolutely. Stallion, started as a gold exploration company. We have two great gold assets in the United States, in Idaho and Nevada. But at the beginning of this year, we made our first acquisition of land in the Athabasca basin, and have since continued to build on that and press forward with our work in the Athabasca basin. And the name change now is really just underscoring exactly that the Athabasca basin is now our key focus, where we're spending our time, energy, and capital. And we put together one of the single largest exploration land packages in the southwest Athabasca basin, where NextGen's located. So again, the name change now just really reflects what we're doing and the work that we're doing in the Athabasca basin in our efforts to find the next big uranium discovery in the basin.
Fantastic. Thank you for that overview. I would like to talk about the work that's being done in just a moment, but maybe if we start with that land package you've put together, what attracted you to that part of the Athabasca basin, and could you tell us maybe about some of the work that went into putting that whole land package together?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was this time over a year ago now that we really wanted to start to get into the uranium space. I mean, after the Russian invasion of Ukraine, energy security became a much bigger issue, came to the forefront. Also, how is the world going to get to net zero by 2050? Nuclear really being one of the only ways we see as the world to be able to get there with its zero carbon baseload power generation. So, we saw the uranium market as somewhere that was going to be a great place to be, not only for the next 1 or 2 years, but for the next decade or two. So I'm fortunate the team at Stallion, my three largest shareholders, have had a lot of success in the Athabasca basin. They're the team that put together and built Hathor exploration with the Rough Rider deposit, sold to Rio for $650 million. They put together some of the foundational assets into NextGen, still large shareholders there. So that group, when we wanted to start looking into the basin, started helping making the introductions needed. We did a lot of due diligence, and through 3 different transactions, 2 wholly owned buyouts at the beginning of this year to give us about 80,000 hectares of 100% owned ground. And then 1 later this year, big option for JV with Atha Energy to take on another 220,000 hectares. So again, over 3,000 square kilometers in the Athabasca basin now, an absolutely massive land position, but really focused in the southwest basin. So that's how it came to be. It's always about the people on the team, and we've got a great team here at Stallion that have had a lot of success and a lot of knowledge in the basin, and then our management just being able to go out and execute and getting those deals done.
Excellent. Thank you for giving us some more of that context, and great timing. With the uranium markets really seeming to pick up in the last few months, which I'm sure is an exciting time for you. Could you tell us maybe a bit more about the Airborne Survey that's ongoing at the moment, and how that maybe fits into your broader exploration program?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you just said, I mean, we started this process well over a year ago to build up the land package that we have, and the uranium market has been even hotter than we would have anticipated when we started this process well over a year ago, and we're definitely grateful for that. It allows us the opportunity to have a lot of people be interested in the work that we're doing, and again, it's just a very topical sector right now, with uranium prices as strong as they are. So for us, we're fortunate to have done sort of 2 phases: our 100% owned and our JV. So our 100% owned ground, we'd already flown a regional survey at the beginning of this year, so it's a little more advanced. And as you would have seen in the news, we just kicked off that same regional survey across the entire joint venture land that we have. So that's, again, going to cover over 220,000 hectares. We've got 2 helicopters on that right now running 2 mobile MT systems. That's going to be a big regional survey to cover a lot of ground that will really be the first effective survey that's been done on that ground, and will extend the conductive corridors that we know are in the Southwest Basin onto our land package. So it's going to be a pretty exciting time to be able to really have new, exploration corridors that are in an area with known uranium mineralization, really being found for the first time. So it's pretty exciting there. And then at the same time, while we're doing that regional work, we have our more advanced ground targets on our 100% owned ground. So we'll be kicking off some on the ground surveys, again, just a higher resolution survey than what you get from a helicopter on the regional survey. And that's all leading into our efforts to be drilling in the first quarter of 2024 on those 100% owned targets.
Fantastic. Always exciting when you're doing some exploration work in a largely unexplored area. Could you tell us, looking forward through 2024, once these surveys are complete and you're into the next phase of the exploration work, is there a drill program planned, or can you tell us any more about next year's operations?
Yeah, absolutely. So as I said, we are fortunate. It's sort of a 1-2 exploration program that we have with the 2 different stages. So on our 100% owned ground, again, at the beginning of next year in the first quarter, looking to be drilling 2 of our key target areas that we've discovered from our regional survey there. And at the same time, we'll be getting the data back in from this large regional survey that's going to identify those key conductive corridors that are associated with your uranium mineralization discoveries. So we're going to be able to take, a really big package. And that was always part of Stallion's strategy right from the start, was if we're going to go out into an area that's been, largely ignored and really underexplored, we want to start big, do these big, effective, efficient regional surveys that will give us the best target areas over this land, and then start to focus in on those key target areas. So that'll be a lot of the data interpretation phase that we have on that regional survey going in through the beginning of next year. And that'll be giving us, again, more key target areas to be looking at to determine the next stage of exploration for those. While at the same time, we'll be able to get some drilling results from our 100% owned ground to see what information that's giving us about this land package. Again, we're talking, just shy of 3,000 square kilometers in the Western Basin that hasn't had a drill hole in it. So, we really are, looking at some very fresh ground. We know it's in the right neighborhood. It's, neighboring projects that have significant, some of the most prolific uranium discoveries in the basin. So we know there's uranium there, and it's just about going out there and doing the work to de-risk it and provide ourselves the best opportunity to find that next big uranium deposit in the basin.
Absolutely. Sounds like there's lots for people to get excited about over the coming months. I guess I'll end off with if people on CEO.CA and the retail investor audience are looking at Stallion Uranium, what is the one thing they should be keeping in mind when they're doing due diligence or learning about the company?
Yeah, absolutely. When you look at us, we have a team that's had a lot of success in the basin. Those 3 largest shareholders that I mentioned own almost 30% of Stallion discoveries. So, they are looking at what we can create with this company for the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. That vision allows us to go out and execute and take on, exploration at a scale that we think really gives us that opportunity to have that next big discovery. And it is that next big discovery that we're going after. We think there's a Cigar Lake or MacArthur on the west side of the basin that just hasn't been found yet. And the economics of that for a junior explorer are absolutely incredible. And that was, with uranium prices when we started this last year at $48, and we're now at $74. So the economics just continue to get better. The entire uranium market is a rising tide that's going to lift all boats, and we think there's a long way to go in this uranium market. And for our investors, we are hoping to have that next discovery. I mean, F3 Uranium, when they had their discovery hole, they went from a 25 million market cap company to 150 million in 3 weeks. That's what can happen in this space and in the basin when you have a discovery. And and that's what we're looking to try and do. And again, once we have that first discovery, to try and build it out from there. But we're doing a lot to give ourselves great opportunities, great shots on net. And again, starting with such a big package, having a lot of key target areas to go after will give us a lot of shots on net. So we're really excited about the next 6 months, 12 months, and what we have lined up for work.
Great. Well, Drew, thanks so much for chatting with us today. Exciting times in the uranium market, and exciting times, no doubt, in store for Stallion as well.
Absolutely. It was great to be on and give everybody an update, James, and look forward to being back again.